Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's number one Spurs fan, presenting Tell Me Your Spurs Story. And here with us tonight, sharing his story, is Marcelo. How are you keeping?
Doing good, man. Come on, let's go. Can't wait for this one. Glad you brought me here, David.
Yeah, of course. Look, it's not Tell Me Your Spurs Story without you. Do you know what I mean? But look, Marcelo, we'll get straight into it. Look, supporting Tottenham, we know it's a full-time job. As we know, especially right now, there's a lot of highs, but there's an awful lot of lows.
Yep.
But look, you tell me how a small man from Brazil moved to America and ended up supporting our great club, Tottenham.
Yeah, so obviously in Brazil, we don't watch a lot of Europe. Well, I mean, we watch European football, but you know, usually the tradition is to support your local club. Most of my family support, either Corinthians, Flamengo, or Palmeiras. Those are the three clubs I was
Yeah,
usually brought up against. But I mean, I was more, my dad, most of my family raised me more in the Corinthian side. But what I mean, I never really had any real love and attachment to them. You know what I mean? They were just more like a local club, and I was just
yeah,
like. But then when I reached the states, I mean, everybody was talking about Bale. You know what I mean? And I always say it. Bale is the one that got me to supporting this club. You know what I mean? Everybody was talking about, what I mean, in my school. Oh, yo, this kid, it's Bale. He's insane. I want him on my club. Oh my God, he's the best winger in the world. And you know what I mean? I went to watch Champions League one day, and it was, Tottenham versus Inter, and we lost. I think what was it? Yeah, 4-3. Bale had the
4-3,
hat
yeah,
trick.
Gareth Bale,
Yeah,
the saviour.
yeah, Bale had that hat trick. I mean, I was, watching and I was like, oh my God, this team is just getting absolutely destroyed. You know what I mean? I think first half we're already 4-3 down, and
Yeah,
Bale comes in or no, 4-0 down, and then Bale comes
yeah,
in, scores a hat trick. And I'm like, oh my God, this kid Bale is amazing. So I start watching Bale more. And then as I start watching Bale, I start falling in love with the club. You know what I mean? Learning the chants, you know what I mean? Learning the songs, seeing the atmosphere. And, you know what I mean? Like, no other club made me feel like that, honestly. You know what I mean? Even when Bale went to Real Madrid, you know what I mean? I thought, at one point, I even thought, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm just a Bale fan, right? So I
yeah,
watched Bale at Real Madrid and I was like, this doesn't feel the same. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if they win or lose. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But like when Tottenham lose, you know what I mean? You can see the watch alongs. When we win and we
yeah,
lose, it completely sets my mood. You know what I mean? It's either I'm happy or I'm angry. This club determines sometimes how my weekends are. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. 100%, 100%. I agree with you, Marcelo. And also while we're talking about that Inter Milan game, the
Yeah.
second game, Bale also retired a few
Yeah.
defenders that night at
Mike
Inter.
on.
The
Yeah.
likes of Maicon,
My
Samuel,
Brazilian.
I think Walter Samuel, the
Yeah.
Argentinian. There was,
Yeah.
he completely retired, if not half of their back line, if not
Yeah.
all of it, honestly. He,
And then the
he, he
AC Milan
absolutely
game.
destroyed them.
The AC Milan game, San
Yeah,
Siro, Crouchy, you know what I mean? Aaron beautiful run, gave it to Crouchy. Oh
yeah,
man, the scenes. Oh, that was fantastic. You know what I mean? I remember
100%.
jumping up, and you know what I mean, like no other club makes me jump like that. Just joy seeing our Cubs
Yeah.
score. You know what I mean?
I,
It's
I, th- I think the reason why you didn't go and support Madrid and you support Tottenham is because you're addicted to the pain and you're addicted to the underdog story. Honestly, I think that's why.
No, honestly, it's not even that because my local club, believe it or not, David, my local club is one of the most successful clubs in Brazilian league football. You know what I mean? They have like 40 or something titles. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
but like Corinthians won the Club World Cup twice. And everything. It's just like for me, it doesn't matter about. I mean, obviously, I want Tottenham to have success, but for me, it doesn't matter about success. Is what makes me feel here. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And just like I Madrid never made me feel that. Corinthians never made me feel that. It was always Tottenham. Always Tottenham. I watched many clubs. None of them made me feel that. It was only Tottenham.
That's what we want to hear. So
Yeah.
for anyone out there on the live watching alongs and that we do be on a Matty Hayes channel that questions Marcelo being a supporter. Now you know by watching this, you know. He said it. He
Yeah.
said what we all wanted to hear. He
Yeah.
feels it in here. And that's
And by the
exactly
way,
what we wanted to hear.
if anybody ever questions, right, I was given a choice. You know what I mean? Most of these people that say, you know what I mean, they were born Tottenham, you know what I mean? Most of these
Yeah.
kids said it wasn't given a choice. I was given a choice, you know what I mean? And I chose Spurs. So, you know what I mean? If you question anything with that, I don't know, man.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Marcelo, so one of my earliest memories would be my first ever game at White Hart Lane. It was Tottenham
Mm,
versus Nottingham Forest. Um, and for me, look, that shows how long ago that was. The fact that we were
yeah,
playing Nottingham Forest, and you know what I mean. I can't remember the
yeah,
last time we were in the Premier League. And look, I knew from then I wanted to be Tottenham. I wanted to
yeah.
be Tottenham. And then, you know, when we were playing Wimbledon, same thing. I was in the Wimbledon away, and I know people have heard the story. Same thing. All these little things. But there's some of my earliest memories. What's your earliest Spurs memory?
Well, I mean, I think I already said it, the Inter game, you know what I mean? I did watch some other games, you know, with Spurs and everything. It was just been here and there, you know, the North London derbies obviously were always, you know, I mean, every time they were on, they were always the highlight of football. So, you know, I watch it, but I mean, everything that usually sticks out is usually that Inter Milan game. You know, obviously, I mean, one of my memories where I felt like, you know what I mean, yeah, I think I'm a fan of this club, you know, regardless. I think it was really that West Ham goal from Bale, you know what I mean? It wasn't
Yeah,
just Bale scoring it, it was just us getting us over the scum. You know what I mean? I was just so
yeah,
happy just beating West Ham. And I was like, wow, that was awesome, you know what I mean? Or you know, Rafael, you know what I mean, when he scored against, you know, when we finally beat Arsenal 3-2 at their, you know,
yeah.
at their place, you know what I mean, how you should just used to, you know, just shush them, you know what I mean. I love that, you know what I mean. I remember that. Those were some of my earliest memory where I was like, yeah, I love this club. I love what everything this, what it's about, you know what I mean.
Yeah, 100%. The sheer audacity of Van der Vaart to be running along and shushing them, absolutely amazing. Because let's be honest, right? Let's be honest, they were ahead of us for years, right? And then Raphael goes and does that and then shushes them. There is no
Legend,
better underdog moment you ever want to see than
legend.
that. Do you know what I mean?
Honestly,
What a
that might
hero.
yeah, that might he might honestly, like, that might be one of my favorite moments. Just, you know, just I'm just like shushing them. I love it. I
Oh,
love it.
stop. I'd
Yeah.
pay anything to be able to do that to them now again.
Oh,
Honestly, anything. Do you know what I mean? But look, Marcelo, there's a lot of reasons why people tend to fall in love with Tottenham. Me, I love an underdog. I've never been a person that loves, that's come out and say, oh, yeah, I support City because they're winning everything now. I'm not that sort of person. I
mm,
love an underdog story. And believe
mm.
me, I'll enjoy it 10 times more when we do win a league compared to
Oh yeah.
winning it every year because it gets boring. Do you know what I mean? So, look, what made you fall in love with Tottenham?
It was basically kind of like we can beat any team in our day, but we also can
Yeah,
lose to any team in our day. You're
yeah,
always in your toes when you're supporting Tottenham, and it's always a roller coaster ride. It's like we said in the beginning, supporting Spurs is a roller coaster ride, man. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I honestly I couldn't imagine being a Real fan and just winning every, like, you know what I mean, just going into every game and not even feeling nervous because you just win it all. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes I wish we were like that, but it's
yeah,
just like with Spurs, it's like also like just I know, you know, I'm a Jose supporter, so it's, you know, contradicting, but also the Hotspur way, you know, how we used to play under Pochettino. Redknapp was very exciting, you know what I mean? We can go out there, you know, Redknapp would just say, come on, boys, let's have a go, you know what I mean? We can
yeah.
win 4, you know, nil or lose 5-0, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It was just a crazy game every time. Every time it was always crazy game with Spurs. Last minute winners, you know what I mean? It was just everything, all of that. I love it.
100%. It was like being on board the crazy train.
Yeah.
100%. Honestly, I used to love it on the Harry Redknapp's era. I really
I
did.
loved it.
Like,
Yeah.
one thing you have to give him, he's the manager that made Gareth Bale. I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you.
He did, absolutely.
Gareth Bale was on a period, I think it was 24 games without winning. He comes in, he says to Gareth Bale, look, you're not a left back, you're a left winger. Go out
Yeah.
there and express yourself. This record isn't going to stay. And, he turned Gareth Bale into the player he is. He also got the best out of Aaron Lennon. Do you know what I mean? He brought in the likes of Peter Crouch to the club, who, of course, got that famous goal against City to send us to the Champions League.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Oh,
mean? So Well, I absolutely loved Harry Redknapp's era, and one thing I really do remember is David Bentley's volley against Arsenal.
Oh,
Oh my
man.
God, what a
Oh,
volley!
halfway
What
line.
a
That was
volley!
insane. That game was that whole game was insane. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
oh, that was
honestly, I think that
amazing.
was the game that made me fall in love with the Harry Redknapp era because it was just one of them things. Look, you can concede three, but you could also
Yeah,
score 4 or 5.
yeah,
Absolutely brilliant.
and the thing is with Harry Redknapp that was so exciting is that we could have been 3-4 nil down, but don't count us out because
Yeah,
we'll keep attacking. You know what I mean? We just kept attacking, 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 and I
and
just remember,
That Inter Milan game we were talking about is
yeah,
prime example of that.
yeah, we looked finished first half. We looked finished, and then we came back. We needed to tighten it up. You know what I mean? That was
Yeah,
insane. Insane. I loved it. Yeah. Hair Up was so much fun. Especially, you know what I mean, some of the players we had. It was I loved it. I love this era. Crowd
yeah.
heat. Come on, man.
I love the Harry Redknapp era. Honestly, I really did. You even have Pavlyuchenko. You had
Oh
Robbie
man.
Keane, Berbatov,
Oh
Defoe. Oh man, insane players. But look, talking of players, Marcelo, there's been a lot of famous players over the year that's pulled on that sexy white jersey with the crest pride of place. Do you know what I mean? So, like, you start off, you have the great Ozzy Ardiles, Ricky Villa,
yeah.
Podle, Steve Perryman, the record appearance holder. You had Pat Jennings in goals. Going through the years, then you have
Granola.
the
You know.
great David Ginola, Darren Anderton. You had Jurgen Klinsmann at the club, a World Cup winner. You had
Yeah.
the great Teddy Sheringham. You had Modric. You had Robbie Keane. You had
How are you forgetting
Berbatov,
Gaza? You're gonna forget
Michael Carrick. Yeah,
Gaza. You know what I mean?
Gascoigne.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
Gascoigne.
mean?
Come on.
Gareth Bale. Like, you even have Son, Kane now. Do you know what I mean? But Marcelo, who was your favorite? I think I already know the answer, but who was your favorite player ever to put on the jersey?
You know. It's like I say, it's always tough. It's always either between Bale and Sonaldo. I love Bale. But honestly, these recent couple of years, you know what I mean? Listen, recency bias is a thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But so now though, man, you know what I mean? It's just like he honestly reminds me, you know what I mean? Obviously, I'm very passionate about the Brazil national team. He honestly reminds me of Ronaldinho in a lot of ways. Not in terms of like how they play, you know what I mean? Ronaldinho is more,
yeah,
tricks and flips and stuff like that, but like their personalities, they go out there with a smile, you know what I mean? They go out there, they're a feel good energy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Whenever Sun plays, it's like a feel good energy. It's really hard to hate the guy. You know what I mean? It's really
yeah,
hard to hate Sonny. So
yeah,
I just love it. And when he scores, it's just like it's even better because he's such an awesome guy. So I love Sonny. Love Sonny.
yeah,
Um, Martrich has a shout. You know what I mean? I know
yeah.
you love Martrich.
My favorite
Um,
ever.
Bale, obviously. Hafa, you know what I mean? Obviously, Rafael. Crouchy. Oh, there's so many.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Kane. Vertonghen. You know what I mean? Vertonghen for
yeah,
me.
Vertonghen. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
honestly Vertonghen for me
Leslie
was one
King.
of. Yeah, Ledley King. Well, Ledley King was a little bit before my time, but
Yeah,
um, for me, Vertonghen was one of my favorite players to watch. You know what I mean? I love them. The celebration, just the Superman, Super
yeah.
Yan. You know what I mean? Coming
Super
to the
young.
rescue. You know what I mean? That Wolves goal, I nearly cried. You know what I mean? When he just headed that in, did the knee slide. You know what I mean? Ripped the shirt. Oh
Yeah.
man, come on.
I'll always remember Jan for that performance against Dortmund at left back.
Oh
Do you know what a hero? Stepped in at left back. He
yeah,
hadn't played there in so long. And he absolutely ripped this prime Dortmund team that everyone was supposed to be afraid of. He single handedly ripped them apart.
he
But
destroyed them.
look, going back on Modric, the reason why I actually love Modric, Marcelo, is because honestly, I've never seen a midfielder like him at Tottenham ever.
Yeah,
Do you know,
no,
in my era, I've never seen a midfielder like him. Yeah, you had David
no,
Ginola, very tricky, but he used to get the ball on the wing, dazzle past a few players. One thing with Modric, no matter where he was on the pitch, he always looked like he had acres of space. He had
yeah.
that split second turn where he already knows what way to go. He's in acres of space.
Fighter
He's
too,
very
man.
good at reading the game. He knows if I drop in here, I'm going to receive the ball. But not only that, right? He had an absolute cracker of a shot on him. I
Oof.
can remember
That
a
goal
few
against
strangers
Liverpool.
before.
That goal
Yeah,
against Liverpool, fantastic. That crawler. Oof. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
What a
Fantastic.
strike.
Yeah.
You talk about a player that is similar. In fact, is probably smaller than Harry Winks.
Yeah.
got stuck in. He didn't get bossed around. He didn't
No.
get bullied. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was actually listening to Robbie Keane the other day on a podcast, and he was saying that when Modric first come in, they were sitting there looking at him like, what are Spurs doing? This guy, like, he's not going to cut it out in the Premier League. Look how small he is. Do you know what I mean? And then what he said is the first training session, as soon as they all walked off, they said, we have one hell of a player
Yeah.
on our hand. They all
He is.
said, this guy is the best player at the club. They all said it. And this is
Yeah.
coming from a great like Robbie Keane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was absolutely fantastic. But
Yeah.
on Son, honestly, paying Bayer Leverkusen that, I think it was what, 16 odd million? I think
It was like 25. No, it was 25 million.
25 million.
Yeah,
The
25
best
million.
bit of business we've ever done out on
Oh,
that
it's
left
a
hand side.
steal. What he has done for this club, not only market value wise, you know what I mean, performance wise. This guy, I mean, that's a steal of a century, you know, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
uh, also we're missing guys like Dembele. You know what I mean? Oh man, there's so many
Yeah.
players, man. There's so many players that I love at Spurs. I'll say this though, not too many players in this current squad.
No,
Too many players in this
100%.
Spurs squad.
100%. 100%. I think I've 3 players out of this squad that I actually love. You know what I mean? The rest are a bit here and there with me, a bit up in the air. Honestly, we've just spoke about some fantastic players there.
Yeah.
Absolute fantastic. Even Musa Dembele. I've never
Oh,
seen a midfielder that can just pick up the ball off the centre backs,
yeah.
drive through a team. Like, players are coming in trying to tackle him, they're just bouncing off him. And then he
No.
drives it up to the
Yeah.
forward line. Do you know what I mean? I've
Even
never seen a
prime Danny
midfielder like
Rose.
him.
Even prime Danny Rose, you know what I mean? Kyle Walker, you know what I mean? When we had those two, oh my God, we had two of the best fullbacks in the league.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? They just bombarded, you know what I mean? I remember in that Pochettino era, you know what I mean? Like, Danny Rose and Walker would absolutely suffocate a team by themselves, you know what I mean? They just could
yeah,
suffocate everybody. They could suffocate any winger. It was incredible how we just could just, make teams look like they were underwater. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They were so good. And Danny Rose with that beautiful goal against Arsenal. Beautiful. That
Oh,
that that
yeah,
rocket. That
yeah.
beauty. I mean, that's a goal I'll never forget. You know what I mean? Never, never. That was
Oh,
fantastic.
100%. Look, so we were speaking about managers, Marcelo. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know I don't think you would have supported Spurs in the time of Martin Yole.
No, no.
But Martin Yole was the first manager to kind of take us away from being that club that everyone expected to rock up and beat and laugh at, to that
Yeah.
club where they started to take us seriously, that we were on a journey and we were progressing potentially to something great in the future.
Yeah.
And then you bring in Harry Redknapp. What a manager.
What a guy.
What a man. You're talking about
Yeah.
my manager, the best in the business.
Yeah, transfer
Honestly, the
market,
best in the business.
deadline, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Transfer market, I've never seen that before, bro. You know what I mean? The guy
yeah,
got business done. And you know
yeah,
what I mean? He got us, I always say this, you know what I mean? You say Martin Yule, not too familiar with, you know what I mean? I know of him obviously, but I didn't see his era pretty much. But for me, Redknapp started the wheel, you know what I mean?
mm,
Um then Pochettino got us spending, and hopefully, you know what I mean. Mourinho get us going. That's
yeah,
what I hope. You know what I mean. That's how I see it. But it all started under Redknapp, in my opinion. You know what I mean. He made us into a club where teams, you know what I mean. It wasn't 3-point lane. You know what I mean. It wasn't little
yeah,
Spursy. Oh yeah, here you go, little buddy. You know what I mean. Let's give you a little slap. You know what I mean. We,
yeah,
we went we went in there and teams feared us, bro. You know what I mean. Teams were like, fuck. You know what I mean. These guys are
yeah,
fighters. These guys play ball. You know what I mean. They can play football. And I just
yeah,
remember any given day, if teams did not respect us or take us seriously, we could absolutely go there and smash them. I just
yeah.
remember that. That was I loved it.
I remember under Harry Redknapp, it was the first time I was going into games like Chelsea, United, Arsenal, expecting to win because we had the players to win. And then you move on to Pochettino. So Pochettino,
See,
you
that
know,
started with me with Pochettino. With me with Redknapp, I was like, you know what? I don't know if we're gonna win, but I know it's gonna be a good game. You know, with Redknapp,
yeah,
I always knew like we weren't gonna just get turned over and it was just gonna be, a disaster class. I knew like if teams were gonna beat us, they were gonna have to
yeah,
fight to beat us. And
yeah,
then that's how I felt under Pochettino though. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Pochettino was really the guy that made me feel like we can beat anybody. We can beat fucking Real
yeah,
Madrid. We can beat Barcelona. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Under Pochettino, it was the first manager I expected to win week in, week out.
Yeah.
I expected to win. We expected as a fan base to rock up and play teams off the park. And of course, look, Pochettino, he brought us to many semi-finals. He brought us two league title challenges. He brought us to a Champions League final. Absolutely fantastic manager. Another great manager, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And he played some fantastic football, some of the best I've
Amazing.
ever seen at White Hart Lane. And then you move into Mourinho. Look, it's not going great at the minute, but I firmly believe he will
Give
bring
him
us
time.
trophies. But
Give him
Marcelo,
time.
who is your favourite manager to ever sit in that dugout?
Pochettino. You know what I mean? For me, it has to be. You know what I mean? He's the guy, man. He's the guy that got us back. You know what I mean? Like, we were like that club that maybe, I mean, we went from like mid-table, then ran up, got to being, us to a top 6 club again. Maybe Champions League, maybe not.
Hmm.
And then like Pochettino made us into that club that's like, okay, we're challenging. We're in
Yeah,
this. You know what I mean? We can challenge for this. We can challenge against the best. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I remember I was like, you know what I mean? Like, we can beat Juventus. We can beat Ajax. You know what I mean? Like, I
yeah,
honestly felt that. Like, we could honestly beat these teams at our best day easily. We can beat City. You know what I mean? And he
yeah,
got me dreaming, man. You know what I mean? Before Pochettino, I had no hopes. I was just literally, guys, come on, guys, let's get top 4. Let's maybe
yeah,
nick a cup, maybe, a League Cup. Come on, guys, please, right? No, Pochettino made me dream, man. Made me dream bigger. He made me dream. No, we can win the Premier League. We can win the Champions League. And I always
yeah,
thank him for that because I never thought we'd get to this point. And it's disappointing because at his end of the road, I thought it was his fault. You know what I mean? I thought,
yeah,
he was finished at the club. I was proven wrong. It's obvious for me. I think it's these players, but
yeah. Paul
I
Jobs.
mean, yeah, but Pochettino is easily there, one of my favorite managers, and just is also his personality. He just seemed like a great guy. You know what I mean? You want him to
Yeah,
succeed. It's really hard. Like, even Arsenal fans, like, you know what I mean? They'll even come in and be like, you know what? Even though I hate Pochettino because he's Spurs, but you know what I mean? I don't hate as a person. He's a great guy. You know what I mean?
every,
Like,
every club in England wanted Pochettino as the
yeah,
manager. They
yeah,
were envious of the football we were playing, absolutely jealous of the football playing.
yeah. We
One
play
thing on the
sexy
on,
football,
on the
man.
Mauricio Pochettino, honestly, like I can't thank the guy enough for this because anyone that knows me knows, I'm proud of my father. I love my father. I want to be my father. That he allowed me to be able to watch a Champions League final with me old lad. Something I thought
Yeah,
growing up that I'd never ever be able to do. Like, I remember growing up watching the great finals like AC Milan, Inter. I remember watching Valencia winning it, Madrid winning it, Juventus winning it. You know what I mean? Even Bayern Munich with the great Oli Canning goals. You know what I mean? Then you go
yeah.
over the years, United picking it up and stuff like that. And I thought we would never ever get to that stage. But one thing Poch done is allow me to sit there and enjoy the final with me out, lad. Even though we lost, the fact that we could watch our team walk out on the biggest stage where the whole world is watching, do you know what I mean? Honestly, what a man. What a
Yeah, it's a
man.
big
And you
difference.
see what it meant to him. You see what it
Yeah.
meant to him. He was in tears.
Yeah, listen, it's a big difference, you know what I mean? We went from obscurity when Poch picked up that team to, Champions League final, and that's massive, man. You know what I mean? That's a
True.
massive accomplishment in my opinion. You know what I mean? You can say he didn't, oh yeah, he didn't win a trophy, didn't win anything, but if anybody was in our position and he did the same, they would be thanking him. You know what I mean? It's the only reason why we have a choice between Jose Mourinho, or, you're seeing these new links
Yeah.
with Allegri, or Nagelsmann. That no manager would have ever been interested in us before
Yeah.
Pochettino. None of these managers. So I got to thank him everything we have right now.
100%, fully agree with you. And Marcelo, we were talking about a lot of games there. We were talking about, the double header with Inter, the one where we were 3-0 down at half time, came back, and, 4-0 down at half time, ended up losing 4-3. We absolutely smashed them at home. You were talking about Inter Milan. We were talking about Peter Crouch's goal against City that got us to the
Goal.
Champions League. We were talking about the game that David Bentley scored, the absolute cracking volley against Arsenal. We
The
talked about
4-4,
Danny Rose
right?
volley against Arsenal. Van der
Yeah.
Vaart against Arsenal.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And then, you're not even talking about the Ajax semi-final that got us to the Champions League. Some
What a game that
absolute
was.
cracking games. You
Yeah.
even go back to playing Gascoigne against Arsenal in
Oh,
FA Cup
that
semi-finals.
amazing free kick from
Yeah,
him. Oh,
all of that. But what is your favourite ever game and why?
You know what I mean? I was so close to saying the Ajax semifinal because it was the only game where it legitimately, at the end of the game, I was literally like Pochettino. I was just in tears. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like I was that emotional. I was in freaking tears. No other game has ever made me like that, David. You know what I mean? Where
mm,
legitimately, I the last minute I saw Lucas score that goal. I just bursted up in tears of joy. I mean, it's
yeah,
making me emotional right now just even thinking about it,
yeah,
man. Um, but honestly, my favorite game in terms of like what I mean to be a Spurs fan was that City versus Tottenham game away. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That 4-3 absolute classic. I'm telling you, David, that is probably, and I'm not just saying that as a Spurs fan, that is probably one of my favorite Champions League game in general. You know what I mean? I know there's the Istanbul, Liverpool versus AC Milan game, which was an
yeah,
amazing game. I love that game. You know what I mean? Even the Liverpool, Barcelona, or like many other great games. Juventus, Real, all these other games were great, but that
yeah,
one for me, that game had it all. It had
yeah,
everything. You know what I mean? I was literally like, all right, lads, you know what I mean? We're 1-0 up, at home. You know what I mean? Let's just
yeah,
hold on to the 1-0 lead. And then literally in 1 minute, fucking Sterling scores with an
yeah,
absolute screamer. And I'm like, oh, I'm just literally like,
yeah,
oh,
deflated.
like it's already going bad, lads. You know what I mean? It's already going bad.
Yeah,
Literally, look at my friends. I'm like, it's gonna be a long night. And then Sonny, all of a sudden, just scores a goal, and then I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? And then Sonny
yeah,
scores another goal. I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna fucking win this game.
yeah,
And then fucking Bernardo scores the goal, and then it's like fucking they're scoring goal, and then they're fucking ahead, and then Laurenti scores a goal, and then everybody's like, is it a handball? Is it not a handball? Is it a
yeah.
fucking handball? And it's like, it's not a handball. So we got the goal. And then we're
See,
like, hold on, lads, hold on. And then the last minute, Aguero. Oh, David,
yeah,
you should have seen my face when Aguero scored that. I literally was an albino. You know what I mean? The blood in my face just left, and the pit of my stomach was so dark. I was so
yeah,
sad. I literally just go like this, just like on the table. I'm like, I can't believe we
yeah,
threw that. Like, I can't believe. And I'm just here crying. And then my friend goes like, bro, VAR, VAR, no
yeah,
go, no go. I literally look like this. I'm like, fuck yeah, fuck you. You know what I mean?
yeah.
City
No,
fans.
honestly, well,
Oh,
when we drew Man City, I actually said to me out loud that at that time, Man City was the only team I didn't want to be drawn against because I
they were the
honestly
best
felt
team.
if anyone could knock us out, it would have been that City team. We got the 1-0 up in the first leg, and Hugo Lloris even saved an Aguero
Save
penalty
the
in that leg.
penalty.
You
Oh
know,
man.
I couldn't believe it, and I was sitting there and I was like, you know what, this could be our season. And then we went to Man City. Like you said, we went 1-0 down. I was like, typical Tottenham.
Yeah,
Then Son got the
right.
brace. I couldn't believe it. Llorente's handball. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, this is going to be chalked out. It wasn't, right? But you know what the maddest thing was? My outlet, because of where I was in college, so I was down in college watching the game. So my outlet, I think, was like a minute or two behind me. And I remember the Ericsson goal went in, and I was fuming. I was sitting there crying. And I was just about to text him. And then he texted me saying, fucking Ericsson, you know what I mean? What a disgrace. What was he doing? And just as he texted me, and just as I was about to text him back, it was overturned. I couldn't believe it. I remember ringing him and I was screaming down the phone. I'm like, we're true. We're true. Like, it's been overturned. And he was like, what? Yeah, even he was like, it can't be. It can't be. Like, they just scored. I was like, I'm not even messing with you. He was like, stop messing with me. I was like, I swear to God, I'm not messing with you. It's been overturned. And my God, did I love that night. Honestly,
Yeah.
that was a great game. Actually, that was a great game. And
That that
we were penned back in for most of that game.
listen, and to me, right, that City team, I honestly believed was the best team in all of Europe. That City team
Yeah,
won the Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup, you name it. They beat Liverpool to a Premier League title, who was a great team who won the Champions League, right? Like
yeah,
they beat the best of the best. That was the only competition, David, they were knocked out in, and we were the
yeah.
ones that knocked them out. And just
The
knowing
mighty
that,
Tottenham
yeah,
Hotspur.
the mighty Tottenham. Just knowing that, it's so awesome. It's such an underdog story, and the way we did it. I mean, like that's what I mean, David. When I say that game defines what it means to be a Tottenham fan because it's literally that game was a roller coaster. It was
Yeah,
literally the most roller coaster of emotions that I've ever felt in a single game. It was literally this with the Sterling goal, then this with the
yeah.
Sun goal, then this with the other goals. Uh,
I,
Unbelievable.
I
I'll never
remember
forget
seeing
that night.
I remember seeing a video actually after of a City fan that left the game early.
Yeah,
After Aguero scored, he didn't even know it was this loud. And he was interviewed outside the ground, and he was like, "What do you think on the game?" And he was like, "Yeah, we won. You know what I mean? Great win. Just leaving early now to go so I can beat the traffic, right?" And then the reporter standing there, he's like, "Yeah, no, you didn't win. You're gone." And he couldn't believe it. He's like, "Why?" He says, "Yeah, I think this loud." Do you know what I mean? Like, so anyway, that just goes to show the extent of City fans. The fact that
yeah,
he's leaving a Champions League game early. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? What an
Eh,
absolute buffoon.
but
But
I'll say this, like that was a game also like that was just a treatment, just a treat to the fans, both of them. I
mm,
remember City fans even saying, "Look, tonight wasn't our night." You know what I mean? I felt like both fans were happy with the game. You know what I mean? Like it was just two games where both teams just went out there and
yeah,
just gave it all, gave everything on the line. Tottenham wanted, City wanted to
yeah.
win that game. It was just a game of just a fantastic game for both sides, in my opinion. Just that was an amazing game.
It had absolutely everything. It had Doctor Tottenham at its best. It had the whole lot. You know what I mean? I'm surprised you even know a City fan because I don't. They're very far and few in between because they're plastic fans as well. But one thing I'll say to you is never forget that Ajax sat there at halftime freaking out to a bit of Bob Marley, thinking they were on the way to the Champions League final.
Oh,
Do
that
you know
was
what I mean?
fantastic. I mean, come
They were
on.
sitting there absolutely loving it. Singing a bit. I can't even remember what was the song. But they were loving it. They were all in full voice, and by the end of it,
Don't
they were left
worry,
sitting there crying.
be
Yeah,
happy or
don't.
something. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that was what
yeah.
the
Well,
lyrics said.
in fact, I actually changed that. It's "Don't worry, we could be Arsenal."
Yeah,
So perfect. But look,
yeah,
Marcelo, we're going to move on to the next question. There have been many iconic goals scored in a Spurs jersey over the years. You have Paul Gascoigne's free kick against Arsenal in 1991 semi-final. Ginola's solo goal versus Barnsley in the run on the 99 FA Cup. Or you have Gareth Bale's strike smashed into the top bins versus West Ham that we were talking about. That was in the
yeah.
2012-13 season. But Marcelo, what's your favourite ever goal scored in the Spurs jersey?
God, it always kind of changes for me. Can I say?
You
Can
can
I
give
get
me
my
a
top
couple. It
five?
doesn't have to be one.
Can I
Give me,
give you
yeah,
my? I'll give you my
yeah,
top five. I think number one, it was the Lucas one, just to simply the fact that we got to the final. That like I knew like, oh my god, we're in the Champions League final. Like it was a last minute goal. We came from the depths of hell and we came back and we won the mighty Tottenham Hotspurs. Come on. And then the second one, it would have to be Hafa's penalty where we finally beat Arsenal at
yeah,
away. You know what I mean? And he shushed them. That was fantastic. Um, Dempsey's goal at Old Trafford where we won
yeah.
3-2. Fantastic moment. Bale's, the amazing goal. And honestly, I'm gonna go with recent one. I'm gonna go with the recent one here. I'm gonna go with Sonaldo's Burnley goal. I'm just gonna go because that goal was
That was
fantastic.
a cracker. What about his other
Yeah,
goal against Arsenal this season?
the
That has
Arsenal
to be
one
in
was.
there.
Uh, yeah, but this season is so shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's kind of tough. But I'm gonna go with the Burnley goal.
yeah. What a goal! What a
Yeah.
goal! He completely ran half of their team. Do you know what I mean?
Also,
Honestly,
Ronaldo
what a
Nazario.
goal!
Yeah, that was.
It's just one of them moments where you kind of like you pick up the ball and you're just possessed, and nothing stopping this guy.
Yeah.
He's pure adrenaline and is just driving him towards the goal. No matter what you do, you're not stopping him. Look
Yeah.
at some of the challenges. Look at some of the challenges that came in against the guy. You
Yeah.
couldn't take him off the ball. It was an
No.
unbelievable goal.
No, yeah, and Burnley is supposed to be a very defensive team, hard to break down, and I just remember, I mean, his son picked up the ball, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna pass Delhi, right? And then he goes
Yeah,
through the first player. I'm like, okay, he's gonna pass now. Okay, now he's just gonna go.
yeah,
He scored. Oh my, oh, like I was literally like, oh my fuck, like I didn't even have time to like I just couldn't believe it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That was fantastic. Oh,
Imagine if we were doing a watch along when that one went in. We would have been crazy. You probably would have seen me with no top on. Not that you want to see it, but it
oh,
probably would have happened.
Oh, David, you wouldn't have seen me. You know what I mean? I'm the biggest Ronaldo fan. I'll probably be doing laps around my whole building. You know what I
Laps
mean?
around the block.
Yeah.
But honestly, what a great goal! On that, how dare I even forget that? That was a great
That's a
goal.
cracking goal. Yeah, I love that.
Marcelo, look, for me, Tottenham is a way of life. You know what I mean? I eat, breathe, and live Tottenham. The results dictate my mood. But what this club means to me is the it's the what will I say? Um, like without Tottenham, I'd be lost. Honestly, there'd be a
Mm,
space in here. There'd be a space in here.
yeah.
What does this club mean to you?
Man, this club is like my religion. You know what I mean? I'm not really a religious person, but this club is my religion, David. You know what I mean? Like, I love this club. I love, our fan base. You know what I mean? Even though we have an arguments, but I love it. I love the songs, the music. It's you know what I mean. I think Sir Alex Ferguson said it best. Out of everything that doesn't matter, football matters the most,
Yeah,
and that's how I say. You know what I mean? Like I just like legitimately, I love it so much. I love the watch-alongs. You know what I mean? We do. I like
yeah,
legitimately. I worked just to do our watch-alongs. I literally worked 14 hours just so I could have some time for the day to
yeah,
watch Spurs. That's how much it means to me to watch a Spurs game. I will literally rather go a whole day working if it means the next day I can take some time off to watch Spurs.
yeah.
That's how much it means to me with this club. I
But not
love
only that,
the club.
Marcelo. What about all the different times of the day you do get up over there just to watch a game? And
Oh
you know
man,
what I
I
mean?
want to wake.
That can't go unnoticed as well because that's severe dedication.
Oh man, you know what I mean? Look at the shift form right now, right? You bet Sunday, 7 a.m. I'm gonna be up watching that game with you guys. 6
Yeah,
a.m. I'm gonna be doing, you know what I mean, the pre-match stuff. I'm gonna have
yeah,
to, sleep early. I've had to wake up. I've waken up, 5 a.m. to watch, us lose to Brian. I think honestly, in the last 3, 4 seasons, I've only missed one Spurs game, and it was the Middlesbrough one. And that was the one where I'm just like, I was so sick and tired of the players. You know what I mean? I was so sick and
yeah,
tired. It was literally, I think, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and I, had work at 8, and I'm like, and I just see Middlesbrough score, and I'm like, like. I can't today, lads. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I was simply like, I can't today. I gotta sleep, and it's just like, I just gave up on that one. But I mean, I watched the next match, but I think that was the
yeah,
only game I missed. And you know what I mean? It's like you and I. You know what I mean? We just love watching the games. We love supporting the club. It dictates my mood. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you've gotten texts from me from late at night. Where I'm
yeah.
just like, I can't sleep right now, man. This club is killing me. You know what I
And of
mean?
course, I'm awake and I text you back because I'm the exact same thing. I'm sitting there thinking about the problems. As soon as you text me, I'm like, finally, someone I can talk to. Because honestly, sometimes talking about the difference between four at the back and five at the back, the missus is sitting there scratching her head looking at me. She doesn't
Yeah,
understand. You know what I mean? So thank God I have people like you, Matt Hayes, Charlie, even Ben and Sim, where we can have this football therapy. Like I actually love this club that much. I genuinely despise the colour red and every other
yeah,
team that wears it. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Even when I do a boo boo on my finger and I see a bit of blood coming out, I hate the color of it. I hate
yeah,
the color of it because it's red. This is how
yeah,
much I love this club. I bleed blue and white. Honestly, like when there's a game on, everyone knows. Don't ask me to do anything because it's not happening. My
yeah,
whole focus from the very start to the very end, which for me, when there's a game on, it's a 3 hour stint.
yeah.
My whole focus is on my team, even
Look,
after the games,
yeah,
especially if we lose. Even
yeah,
after the games, like the missus could say, "What do you want for dinner?" I just answer back. I just want 3 points. It's all I want. Do you
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, listen, yeah, no, I'm exactly with you. I don't like to be interrupted when my game is on. I like to enjoy my game. I like to talk to you guys after the game. And that's why I do everything before a game. You know what I mean? If I have to, like, clean dishes, clean the whole house, you know what I mean? Or,
Yeah,
file paperwork, taxes or whatever. I do that all before a game. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I'm the same.
And then I'm like, you know what? This is Tottenham. This is my time. Leave me alone. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
want to be with my people. I don't want, my friends text me. You know what I mean? I remember the day, I think what was it, the Brighton game. You know what I mean? My friends texted me, "Hey, you want to go to your favorite chicken shop?" I'm like, "Sorry, nope, Spurs are playing." You know what I mean? Goodbye.
yeah,
And it's just like they know. My friends know. And my friends they don't even watch football. And you know what I mean? But like one time they even said, "Oh, Marcelo, Here's $100. I see that Arsenal shirt there. I if you go and try that on, I'll give you $100. I'm like, if you even get that shirt close to me, I'm literally gonna punch you in the face.
Yeah,
And they understand that, like, I'm a guy that, I can joke around, I mean, I can take a joke, but if
yeah,
you even get that shirt close to me, you know what I mean? Like, there's
yeah.
gonna be
We're
physical.
going.
Yeah,
Honestly,
we're going
to be
at it.
honest with you, I wouldn't even wipe my arse with that Arsenal jersey because
No,
it's an
no.
insult. It's an
Yeah,
insult you know what I mean? I should be using like kitten soft stuff like that, not a rough sandpaper Arsenal jersey.
nah,
It's a
shit.
joke.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate their club.
Also,
Full of
how
four the clowns.
David, how are you gonna clean shit with shit? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense.
Just doesn't work, lad. All you're doing is spreading it.
Come on.
But look, we'll move on to the last question, Marcelo. This has been an amazing interview. I've really enjoyed this, and it's a question I really do like to finish on. I think it brings out the best of the person. So for me, look, one of my most cherished memories, my most cherished memory is just being able to go to the games with the old lad, jump around with him, enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? Enjoy what he grew up watching. Sit there, enjoy it, love it, and plus I get to spend time with him. Like growing up, I had three sisters and then my mother. I was the only boy in the family apart from my father.
Mm.
So to be able to just be able to watch games with him and him taking me away from all the women, I absolutely loved it. You know what I
That's
mean? It
awesome.
was a great day out. He was able to bring me to games. I'm so privileged. And I realize that. Do you know what I mean? There's people like
Yeah.
you over in America
Yeah.
who don't get to go to games purely because it's based on geography. It's not
Yeah.
your fault. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what
Now,
is your
hopefully one
most
day.
cherished Spurs memory? What's one that you will always remember, that you'll take to the grave? You'll be on your deathbed and you'll still remember it.
I think it was this one is a little bit bittersweet. Um, I think it was after the Lucas Moura goal. You know what I mean? I think I already told you this. I went to a lake and I was like basically catatonic. You know what I mean? I was just staring out into space and I just couldn't
Yeah,
believe it. But like while I was there, I was like, we're here. You know what I mean? Like we can do this. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like we're finally here. We're in the big stage. All the years, like I just remembered of absolute abuse. All the United fans at my
yeah,
school just giving out abuse. You know what I mean? All the years of me, just even sometimes being embarrassed to say that I was a Spurs fan. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? If someone said that they're a Liverpool United fan, it's just like, ugh. And I mean, like, should I even tell them? You know what I mean? I kind of just want to get out of here. But you know
yeah,
what I mean? That was a time, you know what I mean, where I was like, I mean, I'm Spurs and I'm proud. You know what I mean? Nobody can tell me nothing now. You know what I mean? We're
yeah,
in the final, and then that was the greatest feeling in the world. That was the greatest feeling in the world. I'll do
yeah.
anything to have that back.
Man, I'm 100% with you. I am fully with you. But look, Marcelo, you're my favorite. You're everyone else's favorite. And I'm sure they thoroughly enjoyed this interview. Thank you so much, time, for
Thank
giving up
you.
your time to not only provide me, but the Harris Army out there with some of your favorite ever Spurs memories. It's been a blessing. It's refreshing as well with all these lockdowns happening. People are
Yeah.
sitting there watching the content, and I'm sure they thoroughly enjoyed this. It's great to give them an insight on how you became a Spurs fan because not many people know. All they see is you sitting there giving your opinions. Not many people know. So now they know. So now that question is irrelevant. Marcelo is as dedicated as they come. Look, have you anything else you want to say before we sign off?
No, you know what I mean? Just love the club, love the fans, and come on, you Spurs. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's give it a fight this season. We can do it. We can come back.
100%.
Come on.
100%. Look,
Never
I
lose
hope you
a game.
enjoyed this week's show. If you did, make sure you hit that like. Make sure you smash the subscribe. I'm nearly at the 1K at the time this was recorded. Could be at 1K by the time it's put up. But if not, you can help me. And only you can do it. And also make sure you hit that notification button because what it does is it tells you every time I upload a video. So you're always going to be in the know when the Irish Hotspur and Marcelo get together and put something special up. And look, thanks for sharing your memories, Marcelo. Thanks for
Absolutely.
everything you've done with me and my
Thank
channel
you.
to help. I wanted to put that out there right now on the record. You've given me so much help, so much advice, and so much of your free time. So thank you very much. Thank you to the Harris Army and anyone else out there for watching. Until next time, in Jaws we trust. Come on,
Come
you
on, you
Spurs.
Spurs.